Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We go back 75 years to March 20th, 1947. George Burns and Gracie Allen. And thank you for joining us on this Sunday edition. This is the 20th day of March, the first day of spring, 79th day of the year, 286 days remaining until we get to 2022. Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, published on this date in 1852. Albert Einstein publishing his theory of relativity in 1916. The USS Langley commissioned as the first U.S. naval aircraft carrier in 1922. In 1933, Giuseppe Zangara executed in Florida's electric chair for fatally shooting Anton Cermak in an assassination attempt against President Roosevelt. In a speech in Australia prior to meeting with President Roosevelt on this date in 1944, General MacArthur stressed the moral obligation of the U.S. to free the Philippines before moving to assist Formosa.
2 years ago, when I landed on your soil, I said to the people of the Philippines whence I came, I shall return.
MacArthur ordered out of the Philippines by the president in 1942. He returned in October of 1944 with troops of the 6th Army, and by the end of 1945, the bloody battle over the Philippines was over. In 1969 in Gibraltar, John Lennon and Yoko Ono got married. In 1976, heiress Patty Hearst convicted of bank robbery and using a firearm in the commission of a felony. Hearst had allegedly been kidnapped by a group called the Symbionese Liberation Army and brainwashed into committing the act, giving her the name Tanya.
Greetings to the people. This is Tanya. On April 15th, my comrades and I expropriated $10,660.02 from the Sunset branch of the Hibernia Bank. My gun was loaded, and at no time did any of my comrades intentionally point their guns at me.
Is that so? Well, no, because there are other pictures where they are pointing their guns at me, and they did say they would kill me if I didn't do exactly what they said.
President Carter would commute her sentence to the 22 months served with severe limitations in 1979, and President Clinton gave Hearst a full pardon on his last day in office in 2001. In 1987, the Food and Drug Administration approved the anti-AIDS drug AZT. In 1991, Eric Clapton's 4-year-old son Connor died after falling from the 53rd floor window of his mother's friend's New York City apartment. Clapton co-wrote the song Tears from Heaven, with help from Will Jennings. It would be Clapton's single biggest hit. And it was on this date in 2000, a federal judge ruled that 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez, a Cuban refugee whose mother fled to the U.S. but drowned in the journey, had to be returned to his father in Cuba.
It has been 4 months since Elian was separated from his father and lost his mother. It is time for this little boy, who has been through so very much, to move on with life at his father's side.
Gonzalez would be forcibly removed at gunpoint by federal agents and returned to his father. And it was on this date in 2015, a solar eclipse, equinox, and supermoon all occurred on the same day. Passing away on this date in history, Sir Isaac Newton, actress Marilyn Maxwell, journalist Chet Huntley, journalist Louis Grizzard, pro wrestler Bing John Studd, pro wrestler Sailor Art Thomas, and Kenny Rogers. Among birthdays on this date in history, composer Sergei Rachmaninoff, Edgar Buchanan, you remember him as Uncle Joe from Petticoat Junction, Ozzie Nelson from Ozzie and Harriet fame, singer Vera Lynn, Jack Barry, a TV game show host, Marion McPartland, born on this date. Oh, and Ray Goulding, born on this date of Bob and Ray.
What have you been doing since we saw you last?
Well, we have an ice cream truck out here in the suburbs. And, we have our specials. Cherry Jubilee, Maple Walnut, Butter Crunch. Hey, but you know what? You can have all the specials you want, but you still sell more vanilla ice cream than anything else. Put your money on vanilla, Barbara, Ray. That's the ice cream that people want. Mouth forward. Vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for talking with us. Good luck to both of you.
Well, thanks. It's always a pleasure to be here with you, Bob. Really, we've enjoyed it very much.
Bob and Ray Goulding, born on this date in history. Bandleader Larry Elgart, born on this date, as was director Carl Reiner. John Ehrlichman from the Watergate scandal. Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, born on this date. Actor Ted Bessel, best remembered for being with Marlow Thomas in the TV show That Girl. Also comedian Von Meter, who was probably the best impressionist of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. A fellow comedian, Rich Little, said, "Poor Von Meter, he was in the car when Kennedy was killed." And it was true. His career never recovered. And musician Jerry Reid, also born on this date in history, Eastbound and Down. From Barney Miller, Hal Linden, 91 years old today. From the movies Body Heat and Gorky Park, William Hurt, 72. Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Carl Palmer, 72. Film director Spike Lee is 65. Holly Hunter, 64. The pro wrestler Sting, not the musician Sting, but the pro wrestler, who did an absolutely insane thing. At 63 years of age, he jumped off a balcony onto a table at AEW's pay-per-view a couple of weeks ago. I still can't believe he did that. At 63. Model Kathy Ireland, 59, and the voice of Kim Possible, Christy Carlson Romano, 37. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 20th day of March as their birthday, and if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
And from 75 years ago, March 20th, 1947, George Burns and Gracie Allen. Thanks for tuning in on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. Now George Burns and Gracie Allen as we go back 75 years to a Thursday, March 20th, 1947.
Another cup of Maxwell House coffee, George?
Sure. Pour me a cup, Gracie.
You know, Maxwell House is always good to the last drop.
And that drop's good, too.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the music of Meredith Wilson and his orchestra. Our happy postman, Mel Blanc, Elliot Lewis, and Robert Bentz. For your Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie. And for your everyday coffee drinking enjoyment, it's Maxwell House, the coffee that's always good to the last drop. It's breakfast time as we look in at the Burns home today. And George and Gracie are looking at the morning paper.
My goodness, George, did you read this? Some burglars sawed through a man's door and took everything in his house.
Yeah, there's really a crime wave. Every day you read about more burglaries and robberies.
Oh, George, why don't you ask Bill Goodwin to move in with us?
Why?
Well, I'd feel safer with a man around the house.
How about me?
Yeah, you'd be safer, too.
Thanks, but I can protect both of us.
Well, George, if you won't let Bill Goodwin move in, let's go down to the pet shop and get a watchdog. I'll feel safer if I have protection.
But, honey, when you've got me, you've got protection. I'm just the same as a dog.
Why, George, that's the first time you've ever agreed with my mother.
Let's go to the pet shop.
Oh, here we are, George. Potter's Pet Shop.
How do you do? May I help you?
Well, yes, I want to look over your supply of dogs.
Very well. Would you like a little peek?
No, I want to take a real good look.
By a peek, madam, I meant a Pekingese, the royal dog of China.
Oh, no, that wouldn't do at all. I can't speak a word of Chinese.
Madam.
Suppose I wanted to tell this Chinese dog his dinner was ready. By the time I got an interpreter, his chop suey would be cold.
Gracie, that's enough about the Chinese dog.
All right, dear.
Thank you, sir. Perhaps, madam, you would prefer a bulldog.
No, I prefer a burglar dog. We don't expect bulls to break into our house.
I'm beginning to catch on. At least I think I am. You want a dog to protect you from burglars?
Yes.
Good. How about a boxer?
No, I don't want the dog to box with the burglars. I want him to bite them.
Madam.
Though if he wore boxing gloves, it would keep his nails from scratching the furniture.
Sir, is this your wife?
Yes.
Is she often like this?
Just overlook it.
This takes practice, I suppose.
Yes.
Well, here I go again.
Keep trying, kid.
Madam, I withdraw my suggestion about the boxer. Instead, how about a Doberman pinscher?
No, I don't want the dog to pinch the burglars either. If you've got a Doberman biter, I'll take it.
Keep punching, kid.
How about a setter?
He sounds too lazy.
How about a pointer?
He sounds too impolite.
How about going to another shop?
No, I'm sure we can work something out.
You work it out. I'll see you later. I'm going home.
You'll have to excuse my husband, Mr. Potter. He's the nervous type.
I understand. Believe me. Would you still like to buy a dog?
Yes, yeah. Oh, this dog is kind of cute. What is he?
A Spitz.
Chews tobacco, huh?
Day and night.
Oh, well, then I better not take him. Oh, here's a wonderful dog. A great big fellow. What kind is he?
A St. Bernard. He's the dog that's famous for carrying a keg of brandy around.
Oh, it seems to me that your dogs are not very well brought up. That one chews and this one drinks.
I'm sure a good home would straighten him out.
Well, he's certainly the right size to frighten away burglars. Hello, boy. Mr. Potter, I'll take him.
Good.
Don't bother to wrap him up. I'll just carry him.
Yes.
But on second thought, he's big enough to carry me.
Yes.
I'll drop by tomorrow and tell you if my husband likes him.
Well, not tomorrow, madam. I've decided to take a week off in a sanitarium. Goodbye now.
George, come in the living room and see our dog.
Oh, you finally bought one, huh?
St. Bernard. Oh, he's so big and friendly. Except when he sees a bum or a tramp, of course. Then he's guaranteed to growl.
Good. Let's take a look at the pooch.
Doggy, this is your master. The man you're going to protect. Say hello to him. Doggy, don't growl at him. You're only supposed to growl at bums. Now say hello.
Isn't he making a little mistake?
Well, I don't know. They're awfully intelligent.
Gracie, you better get rid of this fur-bearing elephant. He doesn't like me.
Well, just show him that you're his master. Stand there and look him right in the eye.
Okay.
Kneel down, Doggy, so George can look you in the eye.
Forget it. How can we feed this big mutt?
Oh, it won't be expensive. When we buy our meat, the butcher could throw in something for the dog.
If the dog opens his mouth, we can throw in the butcher.
But, George, think of the protection he'll give us. He's trained to bite any suspicious character when you say sick him. George Burns, get your leg out of that dog's mouth.
It was his idea, not mine. Call him off.
Let go of George's leg, Doggy. If you want an old bone, I'll get you one at the market.
Well, this is going to be one happy little family, I can see.
Now sit up. Come on, sit up. That's it. Now shake hands. Now lie down and roll over. Roll over. That's good. Now play dead. Aw, that's wonderful, George. Now, Doggy, see if you can do it.
I showed you how, you big stupid mutt. Oh, quiet, quiet.
George, doesn't it give you a wonderful sense of protection to have a big, fierce watchdog in the house? If any undesirable person tries to get in, you just say, sick him. George, stop teasing him. Get your leg out of his mouth.
Turn loose. And Gracie, stop saying that. Every time you do, he grabs me.
Oh, dear, someone's at the door. I'm afraid to open it, and the dog might bite them.
Good, I could use a rest. Come in.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Burns. Here's your mail. Oh, my goodness. You've got a Shetland pony.
No, that's our new watchdog.
Hello, big boy.
Oh, don't try to pet him. He'll tear you apart.
Look at that big moose. He's licking the postman's hand.
Oh, I love dogs. I've got a big old ugly bloodhound, but my wife wants me to get rid of him.
Why?
I keep making the same mistake. I come home and pat my wife and kiss the bloodhound. They look exactly alike.
You'd better not say that around the house.
You're right, the dog would kill me.
Would you like to take this dog home, Mr. Postman? He despises me.
Oh, no, he doesn't, George. If you were in danger, he'd protect you. Mr. Postman, you start kicking George and see what happens.
Very well. Take that.
Oh, now, you see, George, he's protecting you.
Protecting me? He's got me by the seat of my pants.
Well, sure. That's so the postman can't kick you there.
Let go of me, you monster.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Burns. Remember, keep smiling.
Keep smiling, he says, with this canine Sidney Greenstreet hanging onto my pants. Oh, quiet.
George, I'm going out to the kitchen to get the dog some water. While I'm gone, make friends with him.
How? I'd love to.
Well, they say music hath charms. Sing to him. Let him hear his master's voice.
What's the idea?
Well, you see, you sing so beautifully, Sugar Throat.
I do?
Oh, yes. You're the male Margaret Truman.
Well, I'll try.
Now, I'll be right back.
Well, get a load of this, Pooch. Ain't misbehaving all by myself. No! Cut that out. Ain't misbehaving all by... Ain't misbehaving... Look, give me a chance.
ain't misbehaving all by myself.
George, that was beautiful. Especially that high note in the end.
That was the dog.
Oh. Well, sing some more.
I won't do it.
Well, just hum then. Oh, that was beautiful.
That's the door buzzer.
Now, who could that be?
I hope it's the dog catcher. Come in.
Hello, all. Oh, you got a St. Bernard. Nice doggy.
Oh, look out, Meredith. He'll tear you limb from limb. Oh. Look, George. He's licking Meredith's face.
Oh, fine. He tears off my leg and drools on every stranger.
Well, all dogs like me, George. When I was a boy back on the farm in Mason City, Iowa, I had a wonderful dog named Rover. If a fox tried to rob the hen house, I'd just say, sick him. Whoa, out.
Oh, George. George, can't you keep your leg out of that dog's mouth?
Yes, George. That seems very inconsiderate. How would you like it if I put my leg in your mouth?
I'd love it.
George.
Meredith Willson, kind of an odd duck, but he did have a bit of charm to him and fairly funny. George Burns, Gracie Allen, March 20th, 1947, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for making us a part of your Sunday. We'll have the conclusion and the news from 75 years ago today, following these important words from your favorite station.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We're listening to an episode of George Burns and Gracie Allen, as it was originally broadcast on Thursday, March 20th, 1947, and in the newspapers of that Thursday 75 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Undersecretary of State Dean Acheson expressed conviction that American help for Greece and Turkey to block the spread of communism will not lead to war. That question raised by Representative Mansfield, the Democrat of Montana, as the House Foreign Affairs Committee questioned Acheson on President Truman's broad mission to send money, materials, and military missions to the two Mediterranean countries. Acheson hesitated for a moment and then solemnly declared, "I was going to say no possibility that it would lead to war." He then paused again and added, "I don't think it could lead to war. By strengthening the forces of democracy and freedom, you do a great deal to eliminate the frictions between great powers." On the other hand, he said, collapse of Greece and Turkey might set off a chain reaction among other countries, both to the east and to the west, struggling under similar pressure. While two small boys and a woman watched, a 60-year-old widower jumped into a ring of flames he had set and burned to death on a baseball diamond last night. The victim, identified by Police Lieutenant Vincent Mann as William H. Matthewson, doused his clothes with a small section of the ground with gasoline, then lit the fuel and stepped into the fire to his death. The Lieutenant Mann, who described the Detroit incident as one of the strangest in his experience, said a post-mortem was being conducted, but added that the man obviously meant to take his own life. Secretary Marshall served notice to the Foreign Ministers' Council tonight that he would propose that Austrian government representatives be summoned to Moscow for consultation as needed in drafting the Austrian peace treaty. The American stand was made known after a session in which France contended she could not agree to economic reconstitution of Germany unless other powers agreed to her demands for guarantees of German coal. French Foreign Minister Georges Bidault, in the first apparent split between the Western powers at the conference, reiterated his country's demand that the impotent Ruhr be separated from Germany. Georgia Governor Melvin E. Thompson cheered by the Georgia legislature as he proclaimed that law and order had returned to the state, but that the assembly listened in silence as he criticized Herman Talmadge as a party bolter and as he assailed Talmadge-sponsored white supremacy legislation. The joint session of the House and Senate met to hear Thompson only a few minutes after the Senate had killed a proposed 3% retail sales tax, the only revenue measure before the legislature. The jammed House chamber with overflow galleries heard Thompson declare that Talmadge and his political lieutenants no longer could speak for the Democratic Party in Georgia. The new governor, whose claim was sustained yesterday by the state Supreme Court, was cheered as he promised to pay Georgia school teachers even if other services were curtailed. There was no reaction, however, when Thompson solidly warned that unless additional revenue was provided, the state would default on Democratic Party pledges for expanded services. New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia told Congress chaos will set in unless we start building homes at once. He urged prompt passage of housing legislation or, quoting, we'll lose another building year. LaGuardia told the Senate Banking Committee he represents the National Fair Rent Committee and is an unauthorized spokesman of unauthorized Americans. Turning to rent control, which is also before the committee, LaGuardia pled, I beg of you to reassure millions of American families at the earliest possible moment so that they will be protected from being dispossessed. The former New York mayor declared private capital is unable to build for low-income groups and added it's not a radical saying that it's not Joseph Stalin. It's the conservative senior senator saying that, his reference to Senator Taft, the Republican of Ohio, apparently based on legislation by the Ohio senator. This includes the aim of providing federal aid to clear slums and provide adequate dwellings for low-income groups. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Thursday, March 20th, 1947. On your radio, George Burns and Gracie Allen, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Tell us more about Rover, Meredith.
Well, we were more than just a boy and his dog. We were real friends. He shared his bed with me.
Oh, Meredith, didn't it bother you when he scratched for fleas?
No, it felt good. Well, sir, one day poor Rover got a hold of some bad food and began to sicken.
To what?
Sicken.
Oh, George, there you go again, sticking your leg in the dog's mouth.
Yes, George. I cannot stand here and watch you torment this noble animal. Do you mind if I go?
If you will. Some watchdog you dragged home. The postman and Meredith, two guys he's never seen before, walk in and he loves them.
Well, he probably sensed that they were friends of ours. But just let some stranger come along and I'll bet he'll tear them apart.
Yes.
Answer the door, darling. I'm going to fix them lunch.
Yes?
How about buying some magazine subscriptions, old-timer?
Old-timer?
Yeah, I got some great ones here. The Glass Blowers Journal.
I don't want any. And get your foot out of the door.
Now, don't try to brush me off, old-timer.
This is what I've been waiting for. Okay, dog. Sick 'em. Won't. Not me. Not me. Grab him.
Well, what a nice big dog. Hello, Buster.
Oh, fine. Him he likes, too.
Well, as I was saying, old-timer, how about a 10-year subscription to the Motorman's Weekly?
The Motorman's Weekly? Get out of here.
Looks like the dog's on my side. You better take the Motorman's Weekly.
Okay, I'll take it. Now on your way.
Not so fast, old-timer. How about a 20-year subscription to the Chinchilla Breeders' Gazette?
Are you kidding? Beat it.
Sign right here, old-timer.
This is murder.
From 75 years ago, March 20th, 1947, George Burns and Gracie Allen on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
On Monday's Classic Radio Theater, Gerald Moore stars in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe from 72 years ago, March 21st, 1950. The Deep Shadow, a disappearing bride leads to a nightclub murder, $50,000, and The Old Double Cross. That'll be on Monday's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I hope you're noticing in this episode of George Burns and Gracie Allen that you're hearing an awful lot of Mel Blanc. Of course, Mel's main role that he was playing in this show was the postman. Keep smiling. But he also, he's playing the dog. He's also playing the newspaper, or I should say the magazine salesman. You hear him all over this show. But then Mel would, even though Mel had his own radio show, and even though Mel was doing his variety work for Warner Brothers and all of that, he still did a lot of radio, an awful lot of radio. Plus, his work on the Jack Benny Show. I mean, let's face it, probably Mel Blanc got more miles as the Maxwell than most Maxwells ever got. Now the conclusion of George Burns and Gracie Allen, March 20th, 1947.
As soon as this doghouse is finished, in you go.
Hi, George. What are you doing?
Oh, hello, Bill. I'm finishing a doghouse for this four-legged Swiss Alp that Gracie bought.
What's he doing?
Oh, it's kind of a race. I'm building a house for him, and he's digging a hole for me. It's just a question of which one of us finishes first.
Well, geez, a nice big dog. Hi, fella.
Oh, fine. You he likes, too. Me, he bites in the leg.
Bites your leg, huh? Must be a southern dog. Likes ham hocks.
Go away. There. The doghouse is finished. Okay, Mutt. In you go. Come on. Get in the doghouse. Okay, then. I'll push you in. Come on, now. Well, this'll do it.
Let me out!
It's funny how some dumb animals are smarter than other dumb animals.
Where's George?
Usual place, in the doghouse.
Oh, George Burns, you come out of there. How do you expect to make friends with this dog? First you keep sticking your leg in his mouth, and now you take his house.
Gracie, either this dog leaves or I leave. One of us has to get out.
But, George, I need protection against burglars.
Well, then choose between us. Either the dog protects you or I protect you. Now, which do you keep? Your husband or a St. Bernard?
Well, naturally, there's only one choice to make.
Sure.
Will you take care of him, Bill? Give him a nice warm place to sleep and food to eat.
Oh, sure, Gracie. I'll take care of him. Come along, George.
George, huh? Hey, Gracie, did you hear what the comedian said? He thinks you want me to go instead of the dog. Straighten him out.
Bill, see that George gets his Maxwell House coffee every morning.
Huh?
I will, Gracie. That's a perfect way to start each day. Rich, delicious, mellow Maxwell House coffee. How many cups do you drink, George?
3. I mean, there's a mistake.
No, you can have as many as you want. After all, Maxwell House is bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee in the world. And no wonder careful selection and blending of premium Latin American coffees plus radiant roasting add up to that famous good-to-the-last-drop flavor you get in no other coffee.
Gracie, you want me to go to Bill's and the dog to stay here?
Well, just till the burglar scare is over, George. Take care of him, Bill. See that he takes his exercise every morning. Have you got a window he can open?
Yes.
Oh, that's his exercise.
Gracie.
And, Bill, be sure to test his bath water before he gets in the tub.
To see if it's too hot?
No, too deep.
Gracie.
Remember, Bill, I'm sending you my most precious possession.
Oh, that won't be necessary, Gracie. I got plenty of Maxwell House coffee.
Look, you Silex jockey, for 2 cents.
No home should be without Maxwell House coffee, Gracie. And no home has to be without it. Maxwell House is the very best in coffee drinking enjoyment, yet it costs but a fraction of a penny more per cup than the cheapest coffee you can buy. That's why so many millions agree today's coffee buy is Maxwell House, the coffee that's always good to the last drop. Now, come along, George.
Now, wait a minute.
Goodbye, George. Be good to him, Bill. Help him get dressed in the morning.
I can dress myself.
I know, but it looks so much neater if it's laced in the back.
Yeah, if his corset isn't laced up, the stays might stick him.
Might what?
Stick him.
Woof, woof.
Oh, George Burns, for the last time, get your leg out of that dog's mouth.
Well, that does it. First thing in the morning, this snapping turtle goes back to the pet shop. Now I'm going in and taking aspirin.
Well, looks like you're going to lose your dog, Gracie.
Oh, it'll break my heart. Bill, I've got an idea. Tonight, you rob our house.
Huh?
I mean, you'll pretend to be a burglar. The dog will chase you away, be a big hero, and George will let me keep him.
Well, I'd like to do it, Gracie, but at 8:15 I've got a date with the girl I'm engaged to marry.
Call her and postpone it.
I can't. I don't know her name.
All right. Rob the house at 8 o'clock. I'll get George to bed by then.
Yeah. Okay, Gracie. I'll see you at 8.
Ho, hum. My, I'm getting tired. Let's go to bed, dear.
Go to bed?
Mm-hmm.
It's only 8 o'clock. It's too early.
But going to bed early puts roses in your cheeks.
I've already got roses in my cheeks.
But I don't like yellow roses.
I'm not going to bed. I'm not sleepy.
All right. I'll read to you from this magazine that the salesman left here.
The Motorman's Weekly? Put it down.
But this looks like a wonderful article. It's called Life Can Be Beautiful on a Streetcar in Scranton.
Sounds beautiful.
By John Connors, motorman, junior grade. He says, I like my job very much.
John Connor says that.
Yeah, it is a good job. The first stop I make is at the corner of First and Main. There I pick up passengers. Some are men, some are women. The second stop I make is at the corner of Second and Main. There I pick up more passengers. Some are men, some are women. The third stop...
Is there much more of that?
Oh, pages of it. Isn't it fascinating?
Oh, it's fascinating, yes.
The third stop I make is at the corner of Third and Main. There I pick up more passengers. Some are men, some are women.
Yes.
I don't pick up many children. They like to walk. The fourth
I think I'll go to bed.
Oh, that's a good idea, George. You run along and I'll lock up.
Yes. Good night.
Good night, dear. Thought I'd never get rid of him. Poor Bill must be waiting outside. Are you there, Bill?
Yeah. Let's hurry. My babe is waiting.
All right. The dog is in the den.
Yeah.
When you go in, he'll bark and I'll call George. Then you jump out the window and let him see you running away.
Yeah, okay. Come on.
Oh, darn it. The dog's asleep. Wake up, doggy. Wake up. Oh, please wake up, doggy. We've got a burglar.
I don't think anything will wake him, Gracie.
Oh, why not?
I just noticed I've been standing on his tail.
Oh, Bill, you make a noise like a dog. Lay your ears back and howl.
Me?
Well, sure, I've seen you do it many times at Hollywood and Vine.
Okay.
George, come quick.
What's wrong, Grace?
Oh, a burglar got in the den, but the dog scared him away. See, there he goes out the window.
By golly, you're right.
Now aren't you proud of our watchdog? He's a hero.
Yeah, I owe him an apology. Doggy, I was wrong about you. You're... Hey, he's asleep.
Well, he's exhausted. He leaped at the burglar and chased him around the room and bit him.
Wait a minute. You're making this up. This silly pooch is dead to the world.
Oh, honestly, George, he almost tore the burglar apart. I didn't even have to say sick him.
Let go of my leg. What a watchdog. There he is. Sound asleep again. Look at him. Sprawled out on the floor like a rug. Isn't that awful?
Oh, it certainly is. Pick him up, George, and put him in our bed.
Good night, everybody.
Join us again next week when we'll all be back. George Burns, Gracie Allen, Meredith Wilson and his orchestra, and yours truly, Bill Goodwin. The George Burns and Gracie Allen show is written by Paul Henning and Keith Fowler. Until next Thursday, then, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House, America's #1 preferred brand of coffee. Always good to the last drop.
And there you have it. For March 20th, 1947, George Burns and Gracie Allen here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I'm going to give you our mailing address here in just a moment. But I just want to remind you that you can always find all of our contact information at our webpage, which is classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand. You can learn more about classic radio collecting, and you can contact me there. classicradio.stream. Now, our good friend Ted over at radiomemories.com, and we talk about Ted a lot. He does a lot to keep old-time radio alive and make old-time radio available on cassette, CD, or flash drive. Not a lot of people provide cassettes anymore, but Ted does. So if you are not of the electronic generation, contact Ted, radiomemories.com. That is radiomemories.com. Contact this radio station, and they have Ted's address or phone number that they can pass along to you as well. Now, our mailing address is Classic Radio Theater in care of KELY Radio, HC33, Box 33155. That HC33 is important because it's a rural route, what we used to call rural route. So it's HC33, Box 33155 in Ely, Nevada, 89301. As I said, all that information is up on our website too, classicradio.stream. Now, we produce 21 hours of great classic radio theater shows each and every week. So, if your radio station doesn't carry it all, and by the way, we appreciate them for carrying us when they can, but if your station doesn't carry us, you can always hear our shows on demand through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or through Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is our kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you here on this station. And tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.